Good morning from Glasgow, and there we have one of my swan friends who seems to be floating towards me at the minute, although she might change her mind. She was here with her friend or partner, because they partner up, I think, don't they, swans? I think they do. They're one of those. There, look, she's coming to us. Hello. Hello there, swan. So this is my friend Lucy said to me, she said, "You're obsessed with the birds. Look at that, she's floating right over." I'd like to think it's not because she thinks I have food, but because, you know. And interestingly, today I was dancing for the trees in our forests that are in great, under great threat in the world and have been for some years, but at the expense of greed, they seem to be being exploited, which is quite unfortunate. Yeah, she is floating over here. Isn't that nice? See? I think that's totally amazing, because like here we are in the city, right? And we don't realize like how amazing that is. Like, you know, I've got a swan in my city. You know, like loads of goals and everything. It's like totally amazing. I'm just gonna keep watching her because she's far more interesting than I am. She goes away. Goodbye, swan. Goodbye. Bye. So anyway, good morning. And Mihai's here with me. Say hello, Mihai.
Hello.
Here's my neighbor who came down and walked with me today. And so as I said, I was dancing for the trees today. But it's really interesting. I'm reading this really interesting book by Jay Griffiths called Wild. And it's about the inherent wild nature of women in particular. And in relation to nature. There's always, that's why we call it Mother Nature, Mother Earth. There's always been a link between women and nature, and so it's quite interesting that we're destroying our nature at a rapid pace. At the same time, there are not great things happening in regards to women in the world. There are 10 times as many sex slaves in the world than there ever were slaves during the height of slavery in both Britain and America, which I think is absolutely shocking. And that's just ones that are traded in between borders, not even the women who are prisoners in their own country. And that's in the UK and the US as well, Western countries as well as non-Western ones. So that's fresh in my mind, and also because I'm planning my International Women's Day event, and it's an interesting one. I grew up in a city. I grew up in Philadelphia, which is a very green city within the context of as cities go, but not nearly as green as Glasgow. Glasgow, which is actually called Dear Green Place, is you know, there are just spots of greenery and natural everywhere, and I really do think that impacts the life of a city. And there's so many studies that have been done. I mean, loads of consultancies paid many millions of dollars and pounds and euros and yen that have categorically demonstrated how beneficial nature is for our physical, spiritual, emotional health, and even having a bit of green in an area of a city that is has crime is a problem, that seems to lessen the impact and things. In Pulling Shields, the area I live, the green spaces were, I think the original thing was they were supposed to be like quiet, they called them quiet spaces, meaning quiet from the architecture, so it wasn't just like you know, building, but that you'd kind of, your eyes would be able to rest, and you have this restful space. But then also within that, there is the context of, you know, what forests and you know, the Amazon rainforest, which is a wild space, but a very complex ecosystem that also supports all these wild spaces are actually the building blocks of our health and living in the world. And so if at the, you know, it's no wonder there's so much environmental devastation, because the planet's all out of whack with all this stuff. And I was reading about how you know, the very bizarre balance between in South America between the loggers, the cocaine and drug trade, and missionaries, actually, and how they're all working together to get to these unreached people who are in these bits of rainforest that have amazing natural resource that, of course, are wished to be exploited for profit, which is really terrible. That how greed leads us to do things that will be devastating. And you know, the scale of devastation is beyond belief for future generations. So you know, but I was bringing in a kind of when I was dancing, I wasn't dancing all that like intellectual, political fire, as it were, but rather I was dancing for the life of the forest, and that their maintenance and not maintenance, but that their survival is seen as being paramount by all people, and that message is not just known within an academic sense, but known within the core of your being. Because certainly when I go up into the highlands, or find myself in a place of great natural beauty and that is untrammeled and undeveloped by humanity, it feeds me in ways that I can't even explain. So, so that's what I was dancing for today. So it's not such a bad morning, actually. Again, it's one of those mornings, anything could happen. We just don't know. But I'll be back here tomorrow. So I hope you have a great day. Bye!